All right. We have Josh Haber, GM Berrow, Natasha Levinger, and Charlotte Fullerton of the show. Can we bring them on up? All right. Hi, how's everybody doing?
There I am in the front row.
Balloons!
All right, I just want to start this off because I'm sure that a lot of people don't.
Sorry.
I'm sure that a lot of people don't have everything that you've done in your careers memorized.
Or do we?
Well, obviously. But if I could just have you, start at the end and come back to me with just a couple things that you've written that they would recognize, so they know what to ask you about when we go to Q&A.
You mean pony related?
Well, if you want to talk about some other stuff that you've done, that might even be just as fine.
Oh, that's okay. I don't feel like going down memory lane there. So I wrote the Apples to the Core one, and thank you. Is that the I love you sign? Or and what did I write? Breezies of season 4. But there's more to come, guys.
Is that
Very exciting.
Yeah,
Is
season
that what we're
5 and
doing?
6 have both been, official now, so you can, address them.
debatable? What are we saying? What are we doing?
Just like who you are and some of the stuff you've written, so that they know what to ask you about.
My name is Josh Haber. I wrote Scarface, and my little movie called Godfather, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's weird. Season 4 was my first season. I wrote Castlemania. See, it's a response I anticipated. Thank you. And then 2 other episodes. What were they? Leap of Faith, which was good. I like Leap of Faith, right? Right? That's good.
They don't really like that.
No, it's not as good as Castlemania is a big hit.
Just say Castlemania again a lot.
And what? Yeah. Wait, what?
I don't know.
No. What's my 3rd episode? I forget.
Simple
Ways. Oh, I was thinking Simple Ways. Yes, Simple Ways that's good stuff.
Maybe I was wrong. Maybe they do know more than I thought.
They know
right?
more. They know
Less
more than
less
drugs.
than I am capable of thinking. Thanks for coming, you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's more stuff coming in season 5. So
Is it
we'll
true
see
that
that tomorrow.
Is it true that you're working on the 3rd Equestria Girls installment, or is that just a rumor?
Wait, how many equestrian girls are there? What happens in the first one? And then the second one is with music and stuff.
Yeah. It's
And
the
then
third one.
the third. Yes, I wrote the 3rd one.
There you go.
Thank you for reminding me of that. That's probably something I totally should have remembered and mentioned. Yeah. What is it called? It's something about friendship.
Friendship games, is it? Yeah.
Friendship games. Yeah.
Something about friendship. There's something about friendship.
Oh, I think so.
Well, I wrote the shorts for them.
Yes, you
What?
did.
Where's the applause?
Some applause. You know how there were those shorts for Rainbow Rocks? Natasha did some of those for Equestria Games. So look forward to Hasbro releasing those on the internet soon.
All right.
Oh, someday. I don't know. Soon. Well, I don't know. Someday they'll release. Hopefully before the
They're
movie.
out there.
Oh, have they? Oh.
They did?
Videos.
Really?
They're talking about music videos that were just released here a
The
couple days
shorts?
ago.
Oh no.
I think they're
no.
different.
There's more.
Those are music
There's more to
videos.
come. There's more.
Something else?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Oh.
Next.
Hi, I'm Jillian, or GM Berrow. Hi. I wrote all of the chapter books for Pony, and I'm new to the world of TV writing, and I wrote an episode on season 5. And yeah, I guess that's all I'm going to talk about right now. I mean, I was allowed to say that it's a Pinkie Pie episode, so. Oh my gosh!
Pinkie Pie
I love
here.
Pinkie Pie
That's
too.
that's some Beatles shit right there. It's like,
I say Pinkie Pie and fun. No?
fun.
I was waiting for that.
Okay.
I think it's your turn.
I think it's my turn. Hey there, I'm Charlotte Fullerton, and I started writing on My Little Pony from the beginning. My first episode was Look Before You Sleep, and half dozen or so since then. Our most recent was Power Ponies, and I'll let you look up all the ones in between, or you probably know them better than I do. But I also written a ton of kids' TV, animated and otherwise. A lot of Ben 10, Alien Force, Ultimate Alien, Omniverse, the chapter books, the video games, the shows, everything, all things. I'm sorry, what?
Is it Kim Possible?
Kim Possible, yes, I did Kim Possible. Care Bears, what else? Green Lantern, the animated series, Superhero Squad, what the heck else have I done? Lots of stuff. Power Rangers.
The IMDb list is staggering, so.
I'm trying to think of what all I wrote some Sonic the Hedgehog chapter books in my day. Do we have any Sonic fans? Yes, there you go. Anyway, I'm not sure what else would pertain to this crowd, but lots of stuff. And currently, Marvel's Avengers Assemble and the new Thunderbirds that's premiering right as we speak, actually, tonight in Great Britain. So, yay.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. All right. Yeah. So, last time that I hosted this, you guys said that I asked questions that were too hard. Now,
We'll lie and make up
yeah,
answers.
I mean, I think we'd been drinking though, so.
We're writers, we can make up answers.
Uh-huh. So I've recycled some of the ones that you were in no state to answer last time because you were tired. But we also have some more that have come through. One that people wanted me to ask was, what characters do you find most difficult to write? And of course, this one's just open to anyone who wants to answer.
Ah, man, it's all kind of hard.
I think Applejack can be hard.
You're talking to Josh on a bad day.
Another bad day.
How about one that I thought was going to be really difficult to write and I was surprised wasn't? Rarity, I thought was going to be super hard for me to write because I thought she was the one that was most different from me. And I don't know if I can write Rarity. And, of course, she's in the very first episode I did and then Suited for Success. And she's sort of recurred in a lot of the episodes I wrote. But I thought, I'm not the, super girly girl type and the whole hair and makeup thing. But I kind of found a character hook for her personality I kept thinking of Monica on Friends that I do identify with, where she's sort of, Rarity gets a little manic about wanting things to be a certain way. And, so it's not so much just airhead hair and makeup stuff. It's wanting things to be pretty and perfect and in her own sort of definition of perfection. And I think I can get behind that. So I found a lot of humor in her and kind of pushing her to the edge and over. I don't know, how about you guys? Anything?
I think I thought Fluttershy was going to be hard because Mitch always said that, but I don't think she's that
Mitch doesn't know what he's
hard.
talking about.
But,
Come on.
It's so weird to see his face staring back. I think Applejack can be really hard sometimes because she just, she's kind of a straight man. She makes jokes, but she's, what was that noise? She makes jokes, but she's there to kind of keep everyone in line and be like, well. So I think sometimes finding stuff for her to do can be a challenge. And also it can, when you try to write the Southern twang, it can feel a little weird to do that. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not. No?
Add a y'all and you're
Y'all.
fine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I actually don't really have a problem with any of the main six because their voices are really clear
That's
and
true.
the characters are very specific. It's anytime I want to introduce somebody new, it's that's really difficult because you have to come up with a whole new voice and you have no idea who they are, what they sound like. That's
And you
where the
can do
challenge is.
anything. and it's
Well, yeah, but
fun.
you have to do the same thing throughout, and you can't just keep doing anything. You know what I mean?
You benefit from the fact that like Lauren Faust and Rob Renzetti in the beginning, with those of us really defined the characters clearly like that and defined the characters' voices. They're in the trenches trying to work
No,
out
you did a bang-up job.
who everybody was. So we got to thank them for doing the heavy lifting.
For sure. Yeah, no question.
All right. Josh, you mentioned last time we spoke that when you first started writing, you'd only seen about 5 or so episodes before you started like heading into writing the.
Yeah, I try never to look at any of the stuff I work on.
Have you since gone?
It better be a joke, man.
Have you since gone and watched the rest of the episodes? And do you think your character still held true after seeing the rest?
Yes.
You think
I
so,
have
but no one
committed-
else does.
Committed every episode to memory. Yeah, no, you have to go back and watch stuff, and just through the course of working, you end up watching more and more stuff because you're writing about stuff. You have to know what's canon and what's not, and there's such a giant world. You really have to keep track of all of it. So, yeah, and I think my stuff holds up all right.
Like 2/3.
Yeah, exactly.
They were trying to decide if they agreed with that statement or not.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Jim, transitioning from books to episode writing, what challenges have you encountered and how are you overcoming them?
It's actually kind of a nice transition. I think it's different in the fact that you kind of have to break the story more with more people or with Megan or group, and that's definitely different. But I like it because you get stuck less, and it's nice to have a collaborative sort of team working through stuff and adding in little jokes. But I'd actually say the other great thing is that you can really get those visuals that in the chapter books, I'm sure experience with this too. You've written all those chapter books. Some of the characters I was talking about in my panel, like Pinkie Pie and Discord, like they're very visual with their little cartoonish gags and they're pulling stuff out of thin air. And that's kind of a challenge sometimes in the chapter books, but it was really refreshing to be able to actually write that as a direction for the animators to go wild with. So I don't know what's going on back there. But yeah, so it's different, but I don't think it's more of a challenge either way. It's just different. Would you agree, Charlotte?
Yeah, and actually, I wanted to let you jump in on this. You used the term "breaking the story," and I don't know if everybody in the room understands what that means. So there you go.
Oh, you
want me to? Or
Yeah, you go ahead. Yes.
Your term.
Yeah.
When we're talking about breaking the story, any of us, it's outlining basically. The story beats when any time in the writer's saying, "Oh, we're in the story break meeting," or "We're breaking a story," it just means what happens first, what happens next, this. When not even every complication and callback and stuff, it's literally then this, then this, then this, then this. And I would assume in the chapter books, you've got to treat the end of each chapter like a commercial break, a little bit of a cliffhanger and kind of, okay, why should you continue on with the story? Just like we do at the end of Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Yeah.
So you were already pretty well prepared.
I was trying to write the books as if they were episodes. Like I would break them into 3 acts and try to do the whole thing, but then, just change the form. So sort of already doing that.
This question came to me, and I had to do a lot of thinking about it, whether or not I even want to ask it, because it's kind of headcanonish, but it's also really interesting. Okay, you wrote Power Ponies, correct?
Correct. Co-wrote it, actually. Betsy McGowan co-wrote it with me, and McCarthy, obviously, head writer on all of our stuff. So.
All right. The question was, in Power Ponies, it's established that characters can go into comics and other works of fiction and interact with them, and also can bring things out of them.
Yes.
The follow-up is this why Daring Do is a real person?
She's not a person. She's a pony.
Say that. Oh.
A real pony.
Interesting. I hadn't made that connection. My inclination is to say yes and to commit to it, but I hate to have this become canon, and I hadn't given it enough thought, because I know how I am about the canons of my things that I'm a fan of, and I don't like people to treat it flippantly, so I don't want to give a definitive answer without really going back and watching all the nuances and making sure it all
Very
jives.
smart answer,
But like I said, I'm inclined to say that's a really cool. Whoever thought of that question, that's a really cool observation, and I would think I'd be leaning towards yes. That's
All right, so whoever asked that.
That was awesome.
There you go. This one's just kind of funny. How many synonyms for end of day pretty lights do you have left? You have twilight sparkle, sunset shimmer, and sunlight glimmer. How many are left in the cache?
There's got to be some more. Keep going.
I don't think so. I think we're out.
I could think of some, probably.
They won't clear.
No? Josh said they won't clear.
A lot of people
Twinkle.
want to know, what do you think Spike's relationship with Twilight is? In your minds when you write, is he like a sibling, a son, or an indentured servant?
Obviously
what's
the
the-
last one.
Yeah, what's the difference between that and a son? I
I'm
forget.
kidding.
A little brother is an indentured
Yeah,
servant. I say
yeah.
as a big sister, right? No, sorry, Chris, if you're out there. It's my brother.
Yeah, he's like a little brother.
Like a little brother, yeah.
Little
All right.
brother.
/ servant.
Romantic partner. Just kidding, just kidding.
All right,
Everyone to
Natasha.
hate me or feel weird about me.
Oh, you can't even hear.
Are you doing some shipping? Is that what's happening right now?
You wrote the upcoming Smooze episode, correct?
Yes.
All right. Question from the
that a
people is, did you go back to watch Generation 1 to prepare for this
No,
episode?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
So did you
Smooth
just adapt?
is a recreation in my mind.
So all new character then?
Well, no. I mean, I knew what smooth. I don't know how much I'm supposed to be saying, but
Oh,
let's just say I knew what he's still smooth, but I didn't need to watch him again. I mean, he's smooth.
Well, you
Speaks for
had the
itself.
story
That-
editor, the head writers to rely on for.
What?
You had the story editors, the head writers to rely on for continuity, character continuity. I mean, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
But There. I'm pausing just because
completely
I
out
don't
of the
know what
blue
I'm
sky.
allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say.
You say nothing.
What?
You say nothing.
I say nothing, according to Josh.
Fair enough.
But
So-
yeah, but Smooth, I mean, is not a. I mean, he's pretty It's not like has a lot of particular intricacies that needed to be watched a lot that I couldn't add to myself. I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm supposed. I'm gonna stop talking. You're gonna really like the episode, I think. Are you applauding me not talking anymore? I'm sorry. I think everyone's gonna really like it, though. That I will say.
All right.
There you go.
Do any of you ever have issue with how long your scripts end up being when you write them? Do you know in your head, like, this is going to play out to be about 22 minutes? Do you end up going too far over, too far under, or do you end up just writing, like, have Daniel Ingram write song here?
I don't think that's allowed.
I wish.
Can we do
I don't
that?
think we can do that. I think you kind of have to write the stuff if you're hired to write
Stuff
it.
happens.
I don't know about you guys, but we, at least in the first couple seasons, the writers were writing the songs.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, still, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like you put in insert song here and it goes to Canada and Dan has to write. You write all the lyrics, the song, and you include suggested sample music for him to listen
Because
to.
the songs move the story along, so they're part of the writing of the story. So they need the information you want to convey in the song has to be there. It still needs to be treated like a scene, and you have to write what's going on visually
Right.
during
May
the
Best
song.
Pet win. Kevin Rubio in my song "Find a Pet." I mean, that's the entire first act. It's a Sondheim musical, so it carries. It doesn't just forward the story; it is the story for the first act. And of course, Stan's music is not to downplay what he did at all and continues to do. It's just it's collaborative.
But as far as like keeping track of the length of the script, I think you just sort of get used to writing in a certain format. And there really has to be some weird thing happening for you to end up way over or way under. You generally just have a sense of how long it is, what constitutes a scene, what constitutes an act, and then it just kind of...
And different shows have required page counts too. Like on Ben 10, we were around 33 pages-ish tops, and like a Superhero Squad was short, 26 pages. I mean, that's what they expected because it was going to be packed with a lot of visual gags by the board artists. So that's also told to you as a writer when you take the job, how many pages must you turn in? And how do you know when your work is done?
Oh, how many pages is yours?
Around 30. I mean, it can be anywhere from 27 to 31, somewhere around
I
there.
was going to say 31 or 32, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you're talking about length, the interest is more in the dialogues, like how many times characters speak, because that's sort of how they end up timing the episode. And it changes depending on what characters it is, because some characters talk fast, some characters talk slow. Pinkie Pie might have a giant page of dialogue, but she says it really fast, so you can get away with more with her. So, yeah, I mean, there are various ways they have of measuring the script.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point,
Certain
actually,
song
that
areas.
that was something that I had to learn about, where the dialogue that, each character is saying, in a book, you can make them say as many sentences as you want, but to be considerate of, actually having a voice actor record all that chunk of dialogue, it needs to be concise
breathe and stuff while
clear
they're talking.
and shorter. And what he's saying about it, if a script can read long, it's maybe 31 pages, but or 27 pages, but each character, if Applejack's saying 3 sentences and they're each saying 3 sentences, that's just really heavy, even though the script may not be longer.
Where there's a lot of action, like in
Right.
something that's not in the dialogue, and it's just described as a short piece of action, but it's going to take a while to play out.
Right.
That the animators have to take, the animation director takes that into account when he's timing or she's timing.
All right. This was another one. Why is Twilight such a deus ex machina? Why are her friends suddenly so inept?
I feel like that's a really loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
In what? Suddenly where?
Solving
is this in
friendship
any
problems.
particular episode, or are we
give us
talking
an
in general?
example. I'm not sure I agree with that. Where?
I believe the example that was used was during the episode with the Tree of Harmony. The friends set off to solve the problem, and then they still needed Twilight in the end anyway. So that's where they're coming from.
Well, they all need each other.
There you go.
Good answer. So that's not an always, that's just a one-time thing.
I guess we're just going to open it up to the audience if you're ready to ask your questions. Everyone put your hands up if you have something to ask, and the screeners are going to come around with the microphones. There we are. Got a bunch of them out there.
Yeah. I feel like we should be filling the time. If Amy Keating Rogers was here, she could have her ukulele out and do a little waiting music. And
Yeah, you totally would.
I had one question, and please don't flame war me, guys. For Suited for Success, which was for Suited for Success, which is Charlitte's writing. Why is it that in that episode that Rarity's friends were a bit, unconsiderate to her feelings, and then in Mysterious Mare-de-Well, that one gets flamed, but not Suited for Success. I mean, it was brilliant, by the way, but still, just saying, why though? Just asking.
Because they had to learn not to be inconsiderate of her feelings. If they started off the episode already understanding what it's like to overwork their friend who's doing them a favor and be so overly picky and all these things, there wouldn't be an episode. So we got to start off somewhere for them to have a place to learn and grow, and hopefully, be really funny along the way. Good question.
Looks like they're struggling queuing them up over there.
Yeah.
While waiting, what is your favorite episodes that you yourself haven't written? Nope.
I hate to pick favorites.
I like Pinky Pride because I love Weird Al, like, so much.
Good stuff.
So I always say that.
I really like Too Many Pinkies.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's good,
awesome.
yeah.
Hey guys. So when you guys start writing episodes, how do you guys go about? Do you guys all like sit at a table and start coming up with ideas, or how does it go?
Do you want to?
What is the question?
How do you
When-
go about writing the episodes?
Yeah, when you start to write an episode, is everyone at a table just throwing out ideas?
Yes.
Basically.
But who's
Yeah.
everyone? Not us. We're not all in the room together.
Yeah, I mean, whoever is currently, they have summits, and so they will bring everyone that they're considering to write on the show for a period of time, and then for whatever block of scripts they're working on, and everybody pitches ideas, and then certain
Like
ideas.
for a season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not
certain
for
ideas
each
get
episode.
sort of rise to the surface, and they go off and write a premise, submit the premise, and if the premise gets approved, they write an outline. And then the outline gets approved, they write the script. And it's this sort of back and forth between submitting stuff, it getting approved, coming in a room with other writers and laying it out again, and getting that approved, and then, so yeah, it's a process.
At some point, everyone's in a room.
Hello there. Sorry. Well, a quick hi to Charlotte Fullerton, my favorite writer.
Aw, thank you. Hello. I have a fan. Yay.
My question is, have any of you won an Academy Award or was an Academy Award nominated for your episodes you have written?
Well,
The Academy Awards are for movies.
Yeah, Academy Awards for movies.
but
They
the-
do Emmys for
Yeah.
kid stuff.
Charlotte's song was nominated for.
Yeah, the Find a Pet
the pet
song that Kevin Rubio and I wrote was nominated for, and I say Kevin Rubio and I wrote the lyrics, Daniel, of course, did the music, and we lost, but we're proud of it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. My favorite part of the show is how cute it can be without compromising anything. I really, really like that. I wanted to know if there was some sort of conscious collaborative effort between the writers or maybe some other part of the staff to make it as cute as possible or as cute as it is, or maybe the script or whatever gets rejected by the higher-ups because it's not cute enough. Take it back, try again, it's not cute enough.
Yeah, DHX has a knob where they just turn up
the
the
cute.
cuteness or
Turn the
it back
cute up
down,
to 11.
Needs more cute.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just
I think
that's
Josh knows how to be really cute, so like
Yeah.
that's why he's on the sound. He just like knows how to write. Not well. Oh God. Great. No, he knows how to write really cute things. So
No,
you
keep
know,
talking.
they both have kids and they're really cute. So I'm sure they take some cute stuff from there.
Yeah, I actually don't write any of it. My kids write all of this.
Yeah, his kids write it.
Shh, you're not supposed to tell them.
What?
Hi.
Hello.
My question is, I've read about for a lot of other series, there's things like a series Bible, like the Gospel according to Faust, where there's all of the premises and all of the various really important canon things broken down so that anyone who's coming in to write the show can look it up and make sure that they're straight with whatever's going on. Do you guys have anything like that, or is it just a matter of person-to-person communication?
Yeah, there's this really helpful fan wiki. No, Pony doesn't actually have I mean, I don't know if you guys operated from a Bible in the beginning, but at this point, there's not a document
I was wondering about that
gets
because
passed
there
around.
was a Bible in the beginning that had all the characters, certainly the main six, the environments, Lauren's beautiful drawings all throughout, and things changed, even some of the character names, but that was, I guess, her initial document that she created for Hasbro for the show, just to say, this is what we want to do. And then things quickly evolved from there. So other than the way the characters looked, for the most part, and it didn't have obviously the episode descriptions and things because they hadn't been done yet, but that's interesting to hear that you guys haven't experienced.
What happened to
So
the
the Bible
Bible?
isn't as stationary of a document as some people think.
Well, most shows, it is. Like, there's I guess maybe it's more applicable in boys action type shows.
Ben 10 has never had a Bible.
Really?
Never, in all its incarnations.
Huh. Yeah, it's weird.
You keep it in your
writers,
head.
They're just expected to know it.
Luckily, it's job security for the very few people who know it.
It's fine.
But
hi,
it costs money, and so it's a question of what do they want to pay the writers to create a document.
Hi, this question's for Charlotte. My username on YouTube is I Live Impossible a lot, so I was going to ask you what. So yeah, apparently people watch my stuff. But anyway, I was going to ask you what it was like to write for Kim Possible.
It was awesome. I was already a huge fan of the show by the time I got a chance to write on it. In fact, the show had been canceled, and I happened to meet some of the show's writers and the head writers at what I thought at the time were the outgoing previous writers of a canceled show, and became friends. We're at lunch, and I'm gushing about how awesome this show was, not realizing I'm auditioning to potentially write on it because it was gone. And then when they got, as you probably know as a fan, when they got picked up again for another season, because I had been so unabashedly enthusiastic and fangirling about it, obviously I was also a professional writer at the time, so I had the chops to do it. They said, oh, by the way, we got picked up for more, and would you want to do one? I'm like, heck yeah, I would. So it was awesome. To be able to be asked to write on something you're already a fan of is heaven.
Hi.
Where are they?
Over here.
Oh.
Okay, so who is your favorite pony? All of you. It doesn't have to be the main six.
You want to start? Go for it.
I'm starting.
pony.
Someone just asked me this today. I hate answering this question. It's hard. I guess Jillian said I'm Fluttershy. She is. So I guess Fluttershy.
She's always rescuing animals and stuff.
Well, I am an
That's really
animal
nice.
rescuer. Please spay and neuter your pets. If you have Fluttershy says so.
Tell them how many animals you have, and
Okay. We have currently 6 cats and 1 dog. But that's not that much, you guys.
Do you have a flying squirrel?
We actually might get a kitten when I go home.
Oh.
So 7, you're going to bring it up to 7?
Cats?
Well, we did have 7 and 1 died earlier.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way to bring the room down.
Sorry. Just just being honest.
So she's Applejack. Apple shy.
Who's your
Go
favorite?
ahead, Josh. It's your turn.
God, it's like asking me to choose which arm I like best. Right. Or which child. Because clearly it's my son. No. Just kidding. Just kidding. I hate them both.
Mostly.
No, I'm kidding. I love my kids so much. I don't know. I kind of am starting to get really into background ponies, like ponies that just don't talk that often or whatever. Kind. Nice, nice. Yeah, no. Applejack's parents, my favorite ponies. I think today I'll say filthy rich.
Filthy rich. I usually say Pinkie Pie because I love her so much, but I'm also like on like kind of a different kick right now. I said this earlier in my panel, but I'm really into the Flim Flam brothers. I just think they're so hilarious and old timey. So I love that. So I'm gonna say that. Pinkie and the Flim Flam brothers together.
The band right there.
Yeah.
Well,
does sound like a band.
I've been asked this question lots of times. I give the same answer because I believe it still. Twilight. My favorite. But I also love my little tortoise/turtle Tank because he has tenacity.
Oh, Gummy. Gummy is my favorite character of all the characters.
And I like Hummingway just because they kept my name for the little the little hummingbird
Yeah.
Okay.
Hummingway.
Hello. I have a question for all you guys.
There he is.
If at any point in the future, are you ever gonna write any more dialogue for Derpy?
Dialogue.
More dialogue for Derpy.
Dialogue for Derpy.
That's the funny thing about the future is you don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah. He has a point.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to write for the show. I'm a freelancer, so I'd love to, but you never know.
Yeah, hard to say.
Who are your favorite two characters to write interactions between?
Want to start down there?
Where's Mitch when you need him?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, Mitch and Megan. Like Discord and Twilight.
I'm gonna say Twilight and Pinkie Pie because they're just so opposite in lots of ways, and like Pinkie Pie is just so silly, and Twilight wants to be so logical about it, and I love that play.
Discord and Fluttershy, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't know. I think I was going to say Spike and Rarity, then I thought Spike and Twilight. Pretty much Spike and anybody. Because you can always come up with. There's always that one character wanting something different than the other character wants. I think Spike and anybody kind of has a lot of comedic possibilities.
Hi. My question is, what was your first thought when you heard of a Brony?
What was our first thought when we heard the word Brony or heard of Bronies?
Heard
about Bronies.
Heard about Bronies.
Oh. I thought, what is that? I don't know.
Hard to remember. It feels like I've always known bronies. There never was a time before without them.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't remember having any weird thought about it. It wasn't until people started like coming up to me and be like, "Wow," it's like, "What about those bronies, huh? Like, you heard about them?" I was just like, "What do you mean? You mean fans of the show? What are you talking about?" Like, it never really struck out to me as weird. It was just, I don't understand. It's like a name for a fan.
I guess I first associated it with, when I first heard it, I thought it was particularly guys in college. I don't know why, maybe that's just where,
I think that's what people used to say.
That it was just because I guess that it was a way to be cool.
Like frat bros?
Dude bro culture?
Yeah.
That it was just a way that fans self-described, but I thought it was like college guys in a
lot of us were.
But I thought of it more of a drinking game kind of thing. Like they weren't like, they weren't sincere fans of the show.
Right.
When I first heard about it, I was like, oh, okay, it's become one of these college meme things.
Right.
Meme things. Meme.
Dank
So I
memes.
didn't realize it was actual fans, that really enjoyed the show. I thought it was just kind of, we're the flavor of the moment when it comes to drinking games. But that was, 5 years ago now? More,
it is
6?
now.
So much for flavor of the moment.
Yep. All right. Who we got?
Writing quirks have always seemed particularly obnoxious to remember, so what's kind of the process of having to remind yourself to not use person, people?
It gets corrected if you end up using it.
Oh, it's the worst.
That's a head writer thing to put every pony instead of every one. That's on the story.
I kind
editor,
of like
ultimately.
it. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
just
if you made the mistake,
having to
somebody's
remember
going to
it for
correct
all of these different kinds, because if you write in the action of a script, Fluttershy hands something to Applejack, and then someone corrects you. Like, what's the
Like
she hoofs it to her? Like, what?
Well,
Yeah, some of them
you
are
gotta
really
use your
strange,
teeth. You have to-
actually.
It's for the animators. How are they
Yeah.
going to draw this? Are
Yeah.
they going to have the characters?
Yeah.
And then
No,
they're not
it's
going to
just-
talk if they're using their mouth to hand something over.
And I think I was trying to write a line in one of the Daring Do books about like having 2 left feet while dancing, and I was like, I have 4 left hooves. Wait, what? But I
Well,
still
I
left
know, but
it in.
that works to me because that's
Yeah.
funny. That's a funny
I
thing.
left it in, but it still was very weird to like. Sometimes when you're trying to
Yeah.
translate something that
I have 2 left hooves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the trick is to find what that humorous thing
Yeah.
is it when a character says it, because if a character wouldn't actually say to another character, hand me that thing. They wouldn't say that because the hands don't exist, right?
Yeah.
So you have to they don't say that. Past that, I mean, it's sort of like.
They're saying, what about Spike? Would he say that?
Oh no, Spike would, because he has claws, right? Spike doesn't have a hand.
Oh yeah, try writing describing what Discord does with everything
Yeah. So-
for a whole book. So I had a picture up and I was like, okay, wait, it's the lion paw and he's got the claw. It was no.
For all of you, what is your favorite background pony?
Oh.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, I like Dr. Hooves. Dr. Hooves is cool.
I like Davenport because I think it's really funny to have a quills and sofa shop. Because that makes no sense, but it makes all the sense.
I like the Clydesdales that guard the princess. They're cool.
Tasha?
Oh, Jillian. I like the cake. Is that what they're called? The
Cakes aren't really background.
Just shut up. I hate you. I hate you forever.
The character Spike has been portrayed differently in different episodes. Like he's been a klutz in some, the straight man in others. How do you think Spike should be more portrayed as? Like, how do you personally write Spike as?
He's all of those things.
Yeah, he can be, well, any of them can be a klutz or whatever, depending on what the day is like for them. But yeah, Spike is sort of, like we were talking about earlier, Spike is Twilight's little brother. And like everything sort of has to stem from that dynamic of what little brother, big sister situation is. So
Wanting to be one of the gang, desperately wanting to, sort of be not more than but be a better athlete, or just like any little kids wanting to be able to do things better than they're currently capable of doing it. And so in that enthusiasm and sort of overextending themselves, sometimes they come across as a klutz, but it's not just, oops, I tripped. It's really trying to do more than they happen to be capable of at the time. So it's very little brother-y, younger sibling-y, let's say.
Right.
Will there be any more origin stories in season 5?
Will there be any more
origin stories?
Like for
Discord
I don't know,
backstory, that sort of
just in general. I'm not obviously
We didn't want to ruin it for you.
Yeah. No spoilers.
Why
but
would we ruin
I
it?
think with every episode we will learn more and more about people.
Maybe.
Ponies.
Ponies.
Excuse me.
There's lots of cool stuff in season 5.
Yeah.
Starts tomorrow.
I think you'll
How
be
great
very
is that?
satisfied.
Are you guys waking up early to watch the premiere with everybody? or-
I am.
Yeah, when is that happening? What time?
Yeah, what time are we supposed to?
What time is it at? 8:45.
Is it in here?
Somebody bring Dunkin'
It's
Donuts
probably in here if
coffee,
we're gonna
and
pack
I'll be
everybody
there.
in. So, all right.
Oh, 8:45.
Oh, there we go.
For each of you, given the opportunity, would any of you want to write an episode about the invention of Equestria's first car, or ponyless carriage, as I'm sure it will be called at first?
As a freelancer, I'd like the opportunity to write anything they'll have me write. So in theory, I'd say, heck yes. That's the kind of thing, though, that a toy company needs to sign off on. Any new
Right.
vehicles of any kind, whether it's a horseless carriage or anything. I was just telling somebody earlier that we had to age Ben 10 up from 15 to 16 because Bandai wanted to make him a toy car, a car to sell as a toy, and he wasn't old enough to drive it, so we had to make him older.
Yeah, vehicles are always a big
Yeah,
thing for
so
toy
that's-
There
companies.
is an Applejack truck.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Is there really?
there is seriously an Applejack truck. So
Really?
With a motor and an engine?
Is that like an equestrian?
Who's driving that
No,
truck?
how old is that
So
thing?
it's a
How
toy,
is
it's a
she
toy
driving that
company
truck?
thing. They have it.
Is
It's a
stick
question
or
of the toy
automatic?
company saying we want to make a toy, and then kind of pushing it on the show, and us trying to come up with an inventive way of making it work. Tank, the tenacious tortoise, was a toy company. He wasn't an invention himself, but that was when Hasbro wanted each of the ponies to have their own pet.
Right.
So a non-speaking, sort of not non-anthropomorphic, because they all kind of are, but not in such a way that the ponies are. And rather than going, darn it, toy companies making us change things, and here, we'll just cram it in there and it won't be terrible. Which some shows do, and you can tell as a viewer, you don't know necessarily sophisticated enough to know it comes from a toy company, but you can tell when it's just kind of, the writers just were backlashing against, anyway, you can try to find some fun, inventive way that it makes it a standalone, interesting story, and the fact that you guys all kind of gasped and didn't realize that that's what where the idea came from initially is a good thing. That means we did our job.
That's always the challenge, is to find a really good way of integrating some ridiculous brand ask. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
And, I mean, it's fun.
What's one of the hardest things you've ever had to put into an episode?
I don't know. It's all hard. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's hard to say but at this point it's like, oh, we did it, so I don't even think of it as hard anymore. It's sort of in the moment they're like, what? They want what? How is that?
Well, when the
All
toy
right,
company
then.
wanted each of the ponies to be a superhero, that was tricky. That came
off pretty well.
Yeah, and it turned out pretty darn okay.
I think, in a way, sometimes I think it can make you, work that creativity muscle.
Yeah, I think
It can be like a little challenge, a puzzle.
it's almost better to be working under limitations, because if you don't have you have nothing to push against, and if you can just write anything, you usually don't write anything.
I will admit, though, the breezy versions of the ponies was hard at first to figure out a way to have that happen organically in the script.
They're so cute, though. The little tiny breezy
They are
ponies of the
cute.
main six. I think so.
Over here?
I have someone over here who did not want to go to the mic, but I'll ask for him. He wanted to know that in the writing process, what are you most excited about?
I couldn't hear him.
I can't
Say again.
understand you.
When you're writing an episode, what about are you most excited about?
What are you most excited about when you're writing?
For me, it depends on the story. If there's it changes with everything that I'm writing, but if there is an element of a story I'm excited about, I get excited about having the characters interact and writing that dialogue of a particular story that I'm excited about.
Yeah, it's like I'm excited about nothing about the writing process.
That's
Like,
true. You think
there's-
he's joking, but
There is
it's
no part
true.
of it that I am excited about if I'm thinking about going to do it. But once I've done it, it's super exciting. Like having written is the best feeling ever. So if I come up with a good joke and then write it out, it's like, oh wow, that's awesome, it works, it's funny, I love that. But if I have to do a scene, I have to do a scene that's funny, that's the worst. So.
And also, if you but I think if you really, I'm writing a script right now that I had to keep rewriting, and I really love the world and the characters, so I actually love just being there. It sounds dorky, but getting to go back and be there with them and be a part of it.
All right. There we go.
Do you ever plan on writing any dialogue for Vinyl Scratch?
We always write dialogue for Vinyl Scratch.
Yeah, it just
some
gets
reason,
cut
somehow
all
it
the
just
time.
gets redacted. I don't know what the story is. These huge monologues. She speaks through her music. Come on.
There you go.
I've always thought that the writing's really cool about shifting kind of focus of perspective. I don't know, if there's an episode about the Cutie Mark Crusaders or something, and you see the main six, they're like, oh, that's my sister's friend, or that's someone that's kind of like a mentor. Or if you watch an episode about Twilight, it feels like that up to Celestia and stuff. There's always a lot of perspective with that. So I was wondering if anybody had any situation that was particularly challenging to kind of create that perspective, or one that when it was done, you got that rewarding feeling where you're just like, yes, that is exactly what I was going for.
Part of that question.
Yeah, I think I've got if I'm understanding your question correctly, I think I've got an example. Would be Bird in the Hoof, when Fluttershy is trying to rescue what she thinks is a mistreated pet, obviously being mistreated by Celestia, and has kind of kept this to herself. And when Twilight finds out what's going on, we shift perspective from this introverted character who's trying to fix things on her own to a more extroverted character who's like, we can't just do, sort of. Is that the kind of thing you were talking about in terms of shift of perspective from one character to the other, but also widening out the storytelling possibility? Oh.
I mean, we go through a lot of questions about figuring out who the episode is about, like whose story is this episode. So you're always going to be in that Pony's perspective, but sometimes, like you're talking about, if it's an episode where it's about that relationship, whether it's mentor, CMC, or two friends, or Rainbow Dash and Applejack being competitive with each other or something, then that sort of who you're with in a given scene can sort of switch, and that's always sort of a tricky thing because you're trying to figure out whose story you're telling, and even when there's perspective switches, you still have to be telling that same story. So it's sort of a difficult thing to kind of keep track of, and it's just one of the things, one of those writing things that's hard.
Hello. I was wondering what your guys' relationship with the YouTube analysis community is, if you pay attention to them at all, or...
Never heard the term before, just now.
Oh. Oh, there's like a bunch of... I've never heard of it. There's a large...
I have a really good relationship with Kimmy Sparkle. I don't know if you guys...
I've seen one of those.
Yeah,
pretty
really
great.
enjoy her analysis. Sparkle.
All right.
Yeah, I don't really watch the YouTube analysis videos. I don't want to hear them say anything mean.
Yeah, pretty much if I come across something negative that isn't a joke, I just don't look at it anymore.
He's very good about that,
Yeah.
actually.
Don't read the
Take
comments.
self-control.
Don't read them.
It is hard.
In all seriousness, we do kind of have to stay away from the content that's created by the fan community in general, just for legal purposes. We don't want to accidentally be crossing over and then have people say we stole their ideas, even if it's something that was already being done. Or we're not really allowed. That's why we're not allowed to read fan fiction, and we're not really allowed to listen to people's podcasts. Sorry.
Are there any major sources of inspiration you like to draw from, like idols, shows, or movies?
Ask about what your main sources of inspiration are.
And then he
Movies,
said,
writers,
oh, I thought he
anything
said
like
Goonies.
Oh, the main source of inspiration
Is
for
Goonies.
Josh Haber is
Is Goonies.
Goonies.
Just in general in life?
For everything.
The Muppets, man.
The Muppets.
Source of inspiration.
I was saying earlier that my Fluttershy book is kind of a pony version of Babe. And like, I kind of was watching Babe and I was like, this is really cute. I should do something with that. So sometimes I'll be, watching or reading something and try to put a new spin on it with ponies.
Yeah, I wish I could say it's any one thing. Yeah, Rashomon, Scarface. But it's everything. It's like when you sort of have to open yourself up to find weird points of reference from anything that you come in contact with. And I, like most things, have been able to do that on a totally unconscious level. So it's just like, everything I come in contact with is a possible source.
Oh, and also Indiana Jones, obviously.
Correct. For what? I don't understand.
I don't know. Something like that.
When you work on an episode that introduces a minor character like Iron Will, Trenderhoof, or Silver Shield, do you get to collaborate on what they look like, or is that up to another part of the production team?
That's a good question.
Well, like my earlier statement about it being really hard to make a new character. Part of what makes that hard is coming up with that idea of what they look like. And obviously, we don't do the design. We write words on a page. But we'll often have an image, like with Trenderhoof. I had kind of I had that sort of Argyle-y. I don't even know if I came up with that, or if I don't think I did. But it was so exactly what I was thinking of that it feels like I came up with it.
Maybe you used a descriptive word,
you come up with some descriptions
or
about
something
them.
like that.
And then the artists at DHX just run with it. And with Trenderhoof, whoever came up with that, I was just like, yes, that is exactly what I was talking about, whether I used that sort of design element idea or not. So.
And because the writers are here in LA and the artists are in Canada, it's not like we're all sitting in the same room together. They're not with us when we're coming up with the stories. So it becomes, first Lauren and then Megan, kind of the liaison to production to translate anything we may have said, even if it didn't end up in the script, just kind of say, in my example would be Iron Will, anything we came up with as a possible idea for a design, and then taking that. But then I didn't talk directly to any of the designers myself, but I like to think that anything I might have wanted to contribute was eventually translated to them by Megan. By Rob. Welcome. Good question.
Hi.
Ooh, sorry, they're in the
back. My question is for Josh Haber.
What?
My question is to you. Over here, Josh.
Oh.
Okay. The episode Leap of Faith.
Yeah.
I had a feel towards when Flim and Flam were selling their Miracle Tonic.
Wait, say that again?
When Flim and Flam were selling their Miracle Tonic. It had a vibe feeling towards Pete's Dragon when Dr. Terminus and Hoagie were selling their Miracle Tonic.
Yeah, totally.
It was from that?
I said,
was inspired, I should say?
That was one of the sources that influenced me, but I definitely looked at Pete's Dragon.
I thought it was more like Sweeney Todd, the miracle elixir.
Yeah, and Scarface.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Scarface. And the Goonies.
Yeah, no, we definitely looked at that. We looked at we looked at, we looked again at, what is that thing? Trouble, big with capital T and Music Man.
Music
looked
Man.
At that.
Yeah.
I looked at the Steve Martin movie, Leap of Faith.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, definitely Pete's Dragon, for sure.
All right, I guess we have about 7 minutes left, so we got
7
a couple,
questions.
Yeah,
Let's go.
a
Bam,
couple
bam,
more
bam.
questions. Who we got?
So, if there's any place in the world that you could be right now, where would you be?
If you could be anywhere else but here, where would you be?
Fiji.
I was gonna say Hawaii. Is that just such a boring response? On a beach.
Yeah, if there's if you think of like one of those vacation magazines where it's like blue water and there's like a hut and the poles in the water and sand and wherever that is.
I feel like I'm a dork again, but I'd be at home with my kids. And
My family would be there
husband.
too. I'm sorry, I meant to say my family would also be with me.
I don't have any kids, so I would be there reading a book. Maybe my dog would be there.
And my cats and my dog.
Where would you be, Charlotte?
In Massachusetts with my family.
All right. I guess I was given some wrong information. We have, 20 minutes left? Is that what you said?
What?
We have 20 minutes left, so.
So these people get their questions answered.
All right.
I think we bumped whoever was coming in next, so yay.
That's what you just said, so.
Awesome.
Is it? All right.
Apparently.
All right, cool.
All right, who's next?
Someone ask a 20-minute question.
1 minute each.
Screeners, where we at?
I know, we got lots of hands in the air. Should we just pick somebody? Oh, they need the mic, yeah.
Yeah. Not do us any good otherwise.
Here we go.
General question. What episodes do you like to write? The more, action, adventure things, magical creatures, or the more slice of life dealing with, more ordinary things, more character driven? Which ones do you prefer to write?
I'll jump in because I've got a quick answer. I definitely prefer the more character-driven stuff. Absolutely. And if it's an adventure piece coming from me, it's still going to be a character-driven or couple of characters in conflict on an adventure, because that's just me.
Right.
Looking at Megan's face on that foot over there, I would say the same thing, because I'm often told, less dialogue, less dialogue. If I could just have them talk all day long, I would.
Yeah, it's weird because when I try to come up with an idea for a story, it's always some sort of plotty, like adventure-y, sort of high concept thing, and I always have to find my way back to the characters because that's where the story is.
Mine's
Yeah,
completely
exactly.
the opposite. I start with the
Me
characters
too.
and then, okay, what am I going to have them do? They have to go on some long, complicated mission to solve something, but while they're doing it, they're getting on each other's nerves.
Maybe that's why.
Because that's what every good episode is about these character issues.
Maybe that's why you hate writing.
I like the ones that are slice of life because those are the ones I like to watch. So I would much prefer to write that type of thing. So, yeah.
Hello. Will there be any chance that we'll see a certain blue-haired, golden-coated guard pony in the future?
Are you bringing Flash Sentry back?
So all the changelings come back, and then they all turn into him. Am I gonna get in trouble for telling you? Maybe I have to go now.
I think you leave it at that answer right there. Mic drop.
There.
Hello. First of all, wanted to say that Suited for Success is one of my favorite episodes.
Oh,
and
thank you.
My grandma really liked Leap of Faith as well, so.
Oh, cool.
But this is a question that my mom's asked. If Shirley's special talent is supposed to be being a teacher, why does she allow so much bullying to go on even within her own classroom?
What were we talking about?
Shirley.
Shirley.
You can go out in her classroom, which is such a good teacher.
Does she witness it?
Maybe maybe
I think she's
it's
just
kind of
really-
schoolyard stuff that she doesn't realize.
She's really nearsighted.
He wasn't supposed to reveal that, but just to answer that question, that's what's up.
Yeah,
She's still a good teacher. I think, I think it's probably pretty challenging to be an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, it was especially in the episode where we learned about Granny Smith's backstory. Diamond Tiara was being especially openly catty about Granny Smith, so.
Yeah, no, that's a valid point.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think maybe just Filthy Rich has some big endowment to the school, and they just can't say anything.
Or they
'cause
have
if
a
he pulls the
history.
funding, that school just closes.
A secret romantic history, yeah. I think that's called shipping. I think I just said that.
Oh my.
You shipped.
I shipped.
Right here on the panel.
I shipped my pants.
I don't know for some reason here.
Oh, here? There we go.
Okay, so when you guys like collaborate on episodes, are you like together when you do it, or are you like apart, like you email, or how does that work?
Oh shit, I didn't hear.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was it?
It's about when you collaborate on episodes, are you together or apart? Do you email?
Yeah, all of the above. Sometimes you're together, sometimes you're emailing, sometimes you're texting, sometimes you're Skyping.
Yeah, I usually Skype with Megan because I live in New York City. She lives in LA, so that's kind of what happens.
Anytime I've co-written episodes on Pony or otherwise, I like to be there with the other person. Again, Kevin Rubio and I have co-written all kinds of things, including the upcoming Avengers episode. And he'll come over to my house and sit in the other end of the dining room table. I'll be here so we can be tossing ideas back and forth, even as we're continuing on with each scene. Betsy McGowan, the same thing with Power Ponies. She was over at my house. It's interesting. I hadn't really thought of it that way, but I do like to write with somebody, even if we're both each concentrating on our own computers. It's still good to have the person physically there. And we order in food, and it's just like a story meeting, at work, only it happens to be the workplace is home.
All right.
Hi, this is for Charlotte. Was it, I wouldn't say difficult, but was it interesting to write for the Maniac where she was a big villain, but was only around for one episode, and she had a goal, but it was kind of, I wouldn't say generic, but you had to do a comic book style villain. Was it hard to kind of think of something original, but also use regular comic book tropes?
Well, first I've got to give a shout out to Megan McCarthy because she did a lot of development and dialogue for the Maniac character. And secondly, I'll say, how do you know she was only around for one episode? I'm just saying. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
Hi, I was wondering, when you're in the stages of planning an episode, is there a set structure that you try to adhere to, or do you give yourself room for experimenting?
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Who this person? Oh.
Should I repeat it?
Yes,
please.
I couldn't see you.
When you're in the stages of planning out an episode, is there a structure that you try to adhere to, or do you give yourself a lot of room for experimenting with it?
Well, there's always a structure to an episode. So yeah, there's a structure. That's the short answer.
There's the structure of writing an episode of television, where it's 3 acts and there's commercial breaks, and there's, like we were saying before, there's a set amount of, there's a target amount of dialogue and length and whatever, and there's always story structure. But there's plenty of experimentation and thinking of ways to tell a story in a new creative way that happens, because you have to. Otherwise,
When you think about any stories you've seen, not just Pony, but anything, whether it's in flashback or, if it's a dream sequence, sort of a specific character's point of view, literally through their eyes, there's always sort of those very special episodes that you can think of other series too, that are experimental. But Yeah, like Josh was saying, that every series also has, and you can reverse engineer even the Pony episodes you watch. If there's a teaser, then the opening theme song, then first act, second act, third act, and you know that because there are commercial breaks. Some shows have a tag, they call it, which is another little bit at the end, and then the end song. And every show's different, really. I mean, some of these, they even break it into more acts because they want to put in more commercial breaks, which gets really tricky for the writers. I haven't had that experience yet, knock, knock, but apparently in prime time, it's really difficult doing 1 hours because they've just got 7, 8, 9, 10 acts. Like you barely have time to tell any story and have a cliffhanger, and then it's commercial. So it'd be interesting to see what you say next year at this panel. If you have a look at some episodes of this series and of your favorite shows and kind of work out what you think the structure is, you'll be able to tell.
So I was just wondering, how is it that ponies are able to talk, but some other creatures in Equestria are not?
Because
The
ponies
magic of
can
friendship.
talk and some can't.
Yeah, it's one of the when you're creating the world of a show, there are certain baseline ideas that you structure everything around, and for Pony it just happens to be that the ponies are the sentient creatures and forest animals, but then it branches out, like, right, griffins talk, some.
Yeah.
What was that?
The cows talk.
Cows talk. Yeah, but I mean, you can't even say like, oh, creatures with 4 legs talk, right? Because squirrels they don't talk.
It's a magical world, so I think that,
a wizard did it. Is that what
it doesn't follow the same rules as our world anyway. So I don't think we can really say why certain creatures talk.
C-3PO can talk and R2-D2 can.
That is true.
Yeah, both
Of course, they're
droids.
robots, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting point.
Very good.
Yeah, it really is interesting, though.
Hey there. Excuse me. When there are background ponies that have been around for a long, long time, and they finally decide to bring them up to the foreground, a bit like bulk biceps, who are the ones that actually get to decide what the name is going to be, the official name now? Is it Hasbro? Is it you guys?
Yeah, it's Hasbro and their lawyers.
The people with the purse strings always get to make the decisions on
You can
everything.
make suggestions, though. I know that sort of happened because I wrote the Pinkie Pie book, and it was about her family, and I had put in some names originally that I thought, the fans might like, and they said that we couldn't use those. It might have been for legal reasons, so we chose new names. So they let me choose their names, but it was from a short list of other names that I just chose what I thought the best ones from the list were. So that is why they have those names.
Yeah, the writers always think they come up with these awesome names, and usually you're writing and you're like, oh, this is it, this is a perfect name, and then Hasbro's lawyers will give you a call and say, no, sorry, there's a character in Korea that also has this name on this other show, and you can't use that name. So that's always a concern as you sort of work through ideas that for names that sound right for a particular character. Some of them are just taken, and because it's is this a show that people make money off of, then someone will sue if you use their name. So you're always changing and trying to come up with really good names that are available for you to use.
Hi. So, in a lot of TV shows, with worlds that have magic in it, they don't evolve to a point that's very advanced or with a lot of science or tools or machinery. So it's either really technology or magic, but because magic kind of does technology for them. But Equestria is a world with magic and science, or at a fairly advanced level, close to kind of our world. So, how do you balance science and technology in the world with magic?
I mean, yeah. Well, there's sort of like it's like steampunk level of technology that is in the world of Equestria. I don't know. I think that's something that's really interesting about the show is that because not everything in the show is magical. It's a magical world, but I mean, Earth Pony's got to do something all day.
And not every problem can be solved just by bing, magic done.
Yeah, and in every sort of fantasy world, magic becomes kind of like a science. There's always rules and study and ways of practicing that end up not being all that different from technology and science when you sort of apply them in a story. I think it's fun to sort of play them off each other, and I think that Pony does a pretty good job of that.
In the Ben 10 franchise, we had a lot of back and forth, like you're saying, with the magic and science in that world, and interesting. I don't want to derail it off of the pony subject, but that was a huge part of writing those episodes.
Hey, here. I was going to ask about let me just go with it. There were a lot of cool fight scenes throughout MLP, like the Changeling Showdown, the duel between Twilight and Tirek. We had a lot of really good fight scenes, awesome writing. Anyway, so ponies are clearly capable of violence, but none of these fight scenes ever solve the problem. Violence doesn't seem to be a solution ever. Is this an intentional message you're trying to give, or just a pleasant byproduct of cool fight scenes?
Intentional message.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like the message is always that.
Friendship is magic.
Yeah, is that friendship is magic? It's not violence is magic. That's a different show. Probably a very popular one. But yeah, it's always about friendship, and the cool fight scenes are just, it's just our way of, because we like cool.
It's a metaphor.
Yeah, it's a metaphor. I mean, it is a metaphor for the struggle and whatever, but it's not like Twilight goes out and picks a fight with somebody. It's always the bad guys who are bringing the pain. But yeah, it's like I don't think it's not a byproduct. It's very intentional. And yeah, like I was gonna say, the cool fight scenes are just because we want things to be cool and action packed and compelling, and we don't really think of them as fight scenes. It's more
action scenes.
Yeah, action scenes. Like when I think of that battle with Tirek, I think of that moment where Twilight she's got the magic thing and the rocks around her hooves start coming off the ground. That's because it's cool. It's like a badass moment. It's not because she's gonna wallop on Tirek. It's just because I don't know. It's filled with this sort of anticipation of she's so powerful now. Oh my god.
All right, I got the notification that we are actually now at 5 minutes left, so we got 1 or 2 questions left.
We are.
Yeah, air quotes all the way. So, over there.
All right, so excluding Twilight, because she's still main 6, which princess do you all like the most? Celestia, Luna, or Cadence?
Which princess do we
do you like the most?
Who's best princess?
Right,
Pretty
who's
much.
best princess? Spike. Sorry, Spike.
That's a compliment. You shouldn't apologize.
No, I know.
Big Mac. Duh.
Yes. So smart. So smart. Yeah.
You can't exclude Twilight. I love Twilight. She's my favorite. Yeah. I'd be lying if I picked somebody else.
Yeah. I do like Celestia a lot.
She's cool.
I was just saying that's who my daughter would be. She wouldn't be any of the ponies. She'd be
Nightmare
Celestia. Oh, or Nightmare Moon.
I like Luna. Luna is I also like the Sandman comic books. So.
All right. We got another one queued up. Where in the back?
You guys spoke a little bit about what Hasbro has as far as input on your creative process, but what do you guys get in the way of limitations from Hasbro itself about what you can and can't touch on, or different morals you might want to express in a story, or characters you can and can't use?
This answer has been censored by Hasbro. No. Just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Hasbro is unique. It's just in the, there's lots of things that you just don't do in kids television. So I think it's more that than.
Yeah, it's not particular to Hasbro. There are just rules about in the United States of what you can and can't, certain words that you can say, certain actions that can and can't happen.
Yeah, there's safety things.
Yeah,
because you don't want to have a kid seeing something happen,
and
then they try that thing, and then they get really hurt because they saw the ponies
broken
doing
glass. I mean, there's very specific.
You actually have
things
to
you're not allowed
consider
to
that,
show.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking broken glass because in Look Before You Sleep, that was a big deal with the window breaking. And also things like the lightning in that episode, that was a cause for concern. They're in a tree in a thunderstorm with lightning. You don't want to tell kids, go and climb a tree when there's lightning. I mean, that was a cause for concern.
Yeah, I think there was something I had once where it was like Spike sort of lit something on fire accidentally, but it was cute, turn up the cute. And my note was make sure the fire gets put out safely and quickly, So
that's always a thing.
It's not Hasbro, being jerks or anything. That's just sort of a common sense approach to kids TV that we.
It's often made me feel like a terrible parent for how many things I've been you don't want a child to do that. I've gotten that note many times. Change that so they're not doing that.
But yeah, we do always have to, there's always the note about make sure that they're wearing knee pads and helmets during this scene.
Yes.
Make sure that they're not standing too close to the precarious cliff. All that stuff.
But it doesn't have to wreck the scene or wreck the story. You just makes you be more inventive about how you're going to go about still having fun.
All right. I guess that is all the time we have for. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all your questions.
Great questions.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to everybody who came. I have one announcement. Apparently, the premiere tomorrow has been moved to 9:30.
Sweet.
You ask those people. It'll start opening up at 9.
Oh, yeah.
Don't shoot the messenger. Thanks for coming.
And come see us right after this panel in the autograph room.
Yeah, go check them out and get them to sign your stuff.
For sure. No kidding, right? We're in the autograph room?
Yeah, autograph room. Next.
Come bring your stuff.
Come say
and
hi.
We'll sign it.
Don't even have to sign anything. Just say hi.
If you didn't get a chance to ask.
All right, thanks, everybody.
We'll just say hi.